Welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk. Hello, everybody. This is Jeff from Treasure Talk and Treasure Tales, and we are coming from you live from Myers Metal Detectors in sunny Tampa, Florida, where, as we promised, Debbie Smikoski from Minelab is in the house, and she is in the shop, and she has the latest prototype of the Minelab Manticore, the Beast, which is very, very exciting, and it's looking for some great things from Minelab. So we're here to tell you all about it today. We're going to start out with Phil and his first impressions of the detector. And what we're going to do, our plan for today, is we're going to let Debbie tell you about it. I'm going to throw a link up into the chat. We've already had some questions come in for Debbie about the Manticore. I will throw a link up in the chat. If you want to, you click on the link and you come in. I'll bring you in for a very brief moment. You can ask your question, and then I'll remove you from the screen and give Debbie a chance to answer it. So when I bring you on, be brief with your question, succinct, to the point. Then we can move on and get some other people in as well. So we're looking for a fantastic show, and we're looking to give you some good information to help you make the decision on when you want to buy your Manticore. So let's bring in the guru and see what's shaking down in Tampa.
Are you on the camera, Jess?
You are. Look at
You're
you.
on. You're live.
Okay.
You're live.
Welcome, folks. Today we're gonna of course talk about the Manticore.
Yeah, we
and
see
there is
it.
right there. And as fate would always have it, whenever I'm trying to do a live stream, I'll either get a customer or a delivery.
You may get both.
We might.
That's all right.
So
That's all right.
bear with us, folks. Anyway, can you guys?
We
look
see
good
it.
on the-
Yeah, it looks
Okay,
great. Well,
perfect.
the coil could be a little bit over. There you go.
Is that good? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Look how small that is. Now, I just had a customer call me a little while ago and was asking me about it because he's going on a cruise today, and he wants to know, hey, does it compress down small for his cruise? Because it does cruise detecting. And you know him, Jeff. It's Howard. And he's a cruise detectors. Look how small that goes.
Yeah, back up a little bit so we can see the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, going out the door.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it. Now,
Okay.
we want to see the arm cuff and everything to see exactly
Oh,
what's
yes. All right, yeah. So let's look at that. All right. So you want to talk about it, Deb?
Okay, so hello everybody.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit more pliable plastic, so it's not. Here's the delivery.
Oh, you take that.
A little bit more pliable plastic.
Here
So
comes
when it gets cold,
1,000
it should avoid
detectors.
cracking. This is now your arm cuff, and it slides on right
Nice.
there. Much easier to do.
Move over a little, Deb. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
So, and then you can size it anyway. Compared to Equinox, where you had 3 different levels. So that's all one piece there. Then on your shafts, it's all carbon fiber. On your control deck, it's a little bit more robust. And you can see here, they put a lip here so your hand won't slide forward, which some people had issues with. The other thing that they did is, if you notice, you have a little lift on the arm cuff. When you're holding an Equinox, you can kind of see how my arm goes up into the shaft, which some people were saying that it was nose heavy. So what they did is, by putting this little lift on, now my arm is completely straight with the whole shaft and with the detector. So some little things, but that will help immensely. You want to talk about the shafts?
Yeah, I'll take it. All righty, folks. So yes, I did just get a delivery. So I'll have these on my website here soon. And that is the 2023 Florida calendar. How about that? So if you come down to the shop to take a look at the Manticore today, be sure you pick up a free calendar. All righty, back at it, Jeff. Am I still there?
What are your
You're
handles?
here.
Okay, awesome. So my thoughts on the detector is, I don't know if you can see the coil ears. The coil ears, actually the coil is just a solid piece of plastic. The ears are on the lower shaft.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is. And the lower shaft, I know a lower shaft for the Equinox is $29. So theoretically, that lower shaft might be a little more because it's carbon fiber. So it'd be a little more for the carbon fiber, but you're not going to break a coil ear on this coil because it's a solid. It looks like what?
Well, that will be a very, very large bonus.
Yes. So that's the chances of that are very slim. So that's a cool feature there. The cam locks, I think, are awesome. And also the lower rod is a narrow dimension compared to the Equinox. Compared to the Equinox lower, this one is a lot thicker. So you'll have less resistance pushing through the water with that, I'm sure.
What are the cam locks like?
Cam locks
your
remind me of the cam locks on the high-end aftermarket shafts for the Equinox.
Okay, so there should be no wobble.
Oh no,
None whatsoever.
none at all.
And they're adjustable.
And-
so as your shafts wear from use, you can actually tighten them or loosen them.
Yeah, you could spin it. I've seen other shafts like that. You could spin that another, revolution and tighten it up more.
Okay, so that would be if you put a thicker lower shaft in, then the cam lock is adjustable, so you're not putting too much pressure on it, correct?
Yeah, these cam locks are adjustable.
Yeah, but I don't know if you could put it in an aftermarket shaft with these cam locks.
No, I think that
No.
with this one you're going to be stuck with
You'd have
the
to,
lower.
if you're
So-
going to put in.
Now,
But I don't
don't
think
think
you
you
would
need
need an after. To me, there's no purpose on this one to have an aftermarket shaft because you already have a narrow carbon fiber. I don't see how you could improve that.
the coil,
No.
Pardon me?
is how beefed up is the coil? The coil looks a lot sturdier, more beefed up.
Yes, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a solid chunk of plastic there, so there's no way to break that.
And then these are all supports. So some people have been thinking that there's a I just lose the word.
Double D or
So it's a double D coil. It's not a concentric coil within a double D coil. This is all supports. So it's a standard double D coil, and this is just supports of the coil.
Right. And the same
Okay,
comes with the coil cover because a lot of manufacturers don't include the coil cover. So that's nice. And for me, looking at it, I like the arm cuff. I don't know if you can see that, how easy that is to move that, and that it's flexible. It's flexible plastic. So, if you look on my shelf, I have the Minelab Equinox arm cuffs because big guys like me tend to break them or whatnot, and I don't think that would happen with this flex in it. And it's real easy to adjust it from one user to the next. Not that I let anybody use my detector, but it is easy enough to change that. And then as far as the housing looks a little beefed up. It's
more robust?
Robust. And of course, it's waterproof now to 15 feet.
Yep.
15 feet. So I imagine that is going to be less likely to leak if you're just a waiter like most of the folks with a detector are as waiters. So yeah, it does feel good. And I know I've seen people put that extra plastic ring on the Equinox to keep their finger from riding up, but I never had that issue. I got big hands.
No, I never did.
That is an issue that you won't need that. So that's my thoughts so far, and I do like the display. I've always liked Minelab's display, and I think it's pretty easy to navigate through it.
Okay, we do have a question from Old Pellin. He wants to know what's the overall length when totally collapsed?
And totally collapsed.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Well, you got a tape measure there, don't you?
Yes, I do. You hold that.
Yep.
And what do I do? Oh, I didn't tighten that camera. Okay. All right. So That looks like 25 1/4 inches.
Well, that almost fits in a carry-on. For a
And-
large carry-on, it would.
And the weight with the 11-inch coil is 2.9 pounds.
2.9 pounds. Now, let me ask you a question on that. If somebody was taking it in their carry-on, they could take the coil off, and that would reduce it by about 1.5 inches, wouldn't it? In collapsible length.
Yeah, probably a good inch.
Okay, that would be good for a carry-on. We got a question from a metal detector in Brooklyn. He says he's 6'2" and does the shaft have a long extension for height for the taller detectorists?
I'm going to extend it fully. Oops. It's got a
Does
warning.
it have to go to that red line, or
It does not have to, but it shouldn't. For support, it shouldn't go further from it. Does that make sense?
It won't be long. If they just need to get the pointer, we can do it. I'll let Dad keep talking.
All right, you got a tape measure?
Okay, tape measure. Where did I put it? All righty. It looks like 59 inches there. Now, is that maxed out?
Yep.
Okay, so let me see. Yeah, that's plenty enough.
That's all you.
Yeah, I'm
You're what, 6'5", Phil?
no 6'3", so that's plenty enough.
And you're not bending it off.
Yeah, I'm not, and
And it's still stable.
yes. So I think I'm going to loosen this cam. And I guess you could extend that a little more.
A little bit more, but
you over tighten. There you go.
Well, the thing
No
is,
problem at all, Jeff.
if the Jolly Green Giant needs one, he can special order a length.
Absolutely.
We have another question about the charging port. What's your opinion on the charging port?
charging cord is the same as Equinox.
Okay, so there's not any chance of it leaking there like the Equinox did?
Equinox didn't leak in the chart where the charging cord was.
Yes.
Okay.
The ones that I saw, there were different. There were a couple different reasons that they leaked, but I don't remember ever seeing any that leaked through the charging cord.
Okay. Okay, let's see who else has got. Okay, Surfside Dan wants to see what a pull tab looks like on the 2D screen. We'll get to that, Dan, if you're able to even see the screen on the video. But we'll get to it. Phil's got to do business, so just kind of hang with us. And Debbie, if you want to, talk about the Manticore, and that would be great.
Pictures. That
Okay,
you're gonna
so
have on
I don't
there.
know if you can see it, but I'll turn it on here.
I
So
also
you have
do
the
photography.
power on the side, just like on Equinox.
Okay, so it works basically power on and off just like the Equinox did.
Correct.
That you go
Okay.
with.
Correct. It's going to be. I'm going to shut down the sensitivity here because
We're inside. Turn that down.
Oh, that's a bright screen too, Deb.
Yeah, so you can see the
Yeah.
display
136.52.
because this is
Does it have
multi-IQ
batteries in
plus.
Yes,
What does it need?
The
9 volt.
the battery has 50% more capacity that it's sending out into the coil. So what that's going to do is allow you to have
All right.
increased sensitivity.
9 volt. Okay.
Equinox is 1 to
Yeah, I'll
25.
look at
This
it. I
would
need
be
to buy some,
1 to
unless you have some
35.
here.
No.
So you have
Okay.
increased sensitivity. You have better target discrimination. You have the
That's
2D
what we're doing
screen.
now.
You can actually
want that on the
operate
card,
FE
or-
and FT
Yeah, I'll put it.
simultaneously and see what the
I just gotta
changes
find my card.
that you're making visually on the graph, so you can see what you're knocking out or what you're putting in. It's got vibration. It's got a 10-stage backlight for the screen, and then it's got a light for the keypad. It also has a 3-stage flashlight on here as well. Vibration in the handle. I'm trying to think here.
And the vibration in the handle would be those that are hearing impaired, or if you're hunting at night.
in water that
Yeah.
are just underneath the surface that don't have waterproof headphones to be able to feel it.
Right.
Retarded.
Good feature.
Yep.
Good feature.
So and then these two keys here are soft keys. So you can program them to whatever you want it to be. So right now it's for discriminate all metal or discrimination. And here is an edit button on there. But reading the screen, so right now it's showing I'm in all terrain general. I'm in multi IQ plus, and that's my sensitivity. And then here, just like with Equinox, it's got the depth gauge, which they improved the algorithm a little bit. So I think it's going to be a little bit more accurate. If I go into the settings
trips
here, so
Trips is good.
I'm going to go all the way up to the top first.
Yeah, right. Head north.
So general settings, if I go into that, that's where my vibration is going to be, my lighting,
That's pretty good.
and then the soft keys to adjust the soft keys.
Oh, less than a
So
month.
that reads a lot easier than the Equinox did, having to go along the bottom.
Yeah, and you have a lot more control over this than Equinox.
Okay, good.
If I go down then to the next, this is my multi-IQ, so it's going to be the same single frequencies
thank
as
you.
the 800. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and 40 kilohertz. Always using a multi when you can use it in multi. Then we come down here. This is audio theme. So I've got normal, enhanced, and then continuous. The continuous, what that will do is when I'm detecting if it is a deeper target, it's going to give me a different sound than if it's shallower. So I'm going to be able to judge the depth of the target. So that's a new feature on it.
Okay.
Then here, this is for my target tones. So you can have 1-tone, 5-tone regional, 2-tone regional, 1 regional tone. So you have a lot of different things that you can set on this as far as your tones go. And you have control over it all. Where you would, if you remember going into Equinox, you would have your T1, T2, T3, T4. Similar, that's how I looked at it when I first saw it, is comparing it to the T1 through T4 on your settings. Then going down my Ferris volumes, then I have my Ferris limits where there's a preset, and then I have custom that I can do 4 different custom modes. So this would be if you're, oops, sorry. Hold on one sec here. So I can program, so on this, on Equinox, you can only do FE or F2. On Manticore, you can do both simultaneously. And what I think is cool is you're going to actually be able to see what you're changing in the graph versus selecting a number and then choosing what you're guessing what you're doing. It's still running.
I'll go ring. Hi, Phil. Hey, Father Rob, we're running a live stream right now. Well, very cool, Mr. Phil.
Then you have your discrimination patterns, which you can adjust as well. And then you have your recovery speed, which is 1 to 8. But this is because of the increased power, you're going to get better separation. I'm on the programming screen. Ground balance as necessary, just like Equinox. If you don't need to ground balance it, you don't have to. Then our noise cancel can be auto, or you can go manual through it if you'd like.
Fast noise cancel too.
Yep, very quick. Then your search mode. So this is a little bit different from Equinox, where you had Park 1 and 2, Field 1 and 2. So what you have now is you have all-terrain general, then you have all-terrain fast, you have all-terrain low conductors, all-terrain high conductors, and then trash reject. So you have all those different modes within that one. And then on your beach mode, so you have beach general, you have beach low conductors, beach deep, and then beach surf and seawater.
Okay, so beach seawater would be for those of us that hunt out in the water where their total unit is submerged, correct?
Correct, and where you are up on the wash. So Equinox sometimes would create a magnetic field that you would get a falsing, a negative.
Yeah, right in the surf line.
Coming in, so that should fix that. And then you have your gold mode as well.
Cool. I think you said it weighed, what, 2.6 pounds, Deb?
2.9.
2.9 pounds.
Right.
So, okay, good.
And then you've got your volume. So you have a lot more control over your screens and what you want to do. On here, I don't know if you can see it on the graph where you see the gray.
Uh-huh.
So that's what that's what is discriminated out right now.
Okay.
And, let's see.
So it's kind of a graph, kind of like what was on E-Track and CTX.
Correct.
Okay.
So right now, Phil's doing, so we're not in all metal, we're discriminating, but that's a nail that he's running over right now. And it's showing up on the gray part up there. If I
Okay.
want to hear that, I can put it in all metal.
Is it assigning the target with the red line
Yes.
underneath of it?
So you'll see the target ID and then you'll see a red line under it.
So you
The
Uh-huh.
red line shows you that it's ferrous.
Okay, good. That's interesting. That's a good feature.
You're still getting the high tone.
I'm running the square nail and a cuff button. I guess that would be made out of brass. That's
Yeah.
probably from the
Brass,
1820s or earlier.
But you could hear it.
And let's see if it was right next to it.
So right now, that's the brass, and you can see it's on the sweet spot line right there. So that's a
Uh-huh.
good target.
If that's touching the square nail.
And that's touching the square nail right now. So it's separating. What this is going to do, having this kind of graph, is especially with complex iron, that you would get that good width of a tone at the very end of it, and you'd have to decide if you're going to dig it or not. This is going to show you, because it'll show you if there's a big blob up here in the iron that might lead down to the sweet spot line.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have better information if you can see it separated, if it's something you want to dig. So I'm going to try to do this. Hold on, I'm going to shorten this up a second. I lost Phil.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's my ring. So if you want to hold this 1 second.
Sure.
See if I can do this in here. It's kind of tricky because we're inside,
And we have the sensitivity turn
way
down.
down.
Well, you have to. You're inside the shop.
Who's on shit?
We're on, I got my friend Jeff. It's Treasure Talk.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have that one now?
Yours?
Yeah.
Right
This,
there.
I just want everyone to know. So I went to Detectable to help premiere and show the Manticore. I really didn't get out but 5 minutes to detect, and I found a medieval nail. I've been told it's medieval because it's very heavy, so I'm going with that. So
Yes,
at least I
yeah.
found something, right?
Right.
Usually over there, if they can tell you exactly what it is, they know.
So I gotta make sure I don't do it with my ring. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, you got a red 50s
Right.
and a smear, and of course the telltale
So now
sound.
Right. Now I shifted the direction of it so you could see that you can't get sizing off of this. Versus straight up and down.
All right, and then go over the coin.
Hmm.
And then move the circle way at the far end because it's a $50.
Right.
I was going to say, that's a good target. Dig that, Phil.
Oh,
Yes.
And we are working on a conversion chart so you can see what a $50 would be on an Equinox, which would usually be in the 30s, versus what it will be on Manticore.
What's the range in the Manticore?
0 to 99.
0 to 99?
So
Okay,
what
we
we
have a
do
question.
is, and the reason that we don't go into a negative number is primarily because there's a lot of countries that have steel coins that always showed up as a negative iron number. So
Like
this way
Canada.
you can knock out what you don't want, but you'll have good targets that you'll be able to see. Now, if I do, if I can do this. Begin both my nail and the
Yeah, you get two different images there. So that appears to be two different targets.
So you'll know that.
yeah, you'll see it up in the panel.
So you would hear the ferrous and the non-ferrous target, and you would see that, yeah, you're seeing down here and down here. I guess that would be two different targets.
Now I'm almost, and this is inside, and I've got, I'm what, 8 inches?
Yeah, 7, 8 inches, yeah. And
Yeah,
like you
you're
say,
here
And that's
inside.
my sensitivity is way
Oh, yeah.
down.
Probably
So that's
a
no
third.
threshold.
So I think,
So yeah, it's good. It will get good depth.
yeah, I think it'll get good depth. I think it'll be good in iron when the final unit comes out. And Rob, you see the
Yes, that's what I was looking at. I was told that it has a
No.
different type of,
no coil here. The coil here is on the shaft.
okay.
We can
So-
take it, you know, we can take
Awesome.
it off so people can see it.
Yes, I thought that was kind of ingenious.
I heard about it, but I hadn't seen it yet.
So that's a cool
And then we
feature.
do a thumb lock release there.
So, Phil,
And
is there any type of adjustment for saltwater salinity?
That is awesome.
is there a saltwater salinity adjustment on there? Or is
That
it
would be
just
for the seawater.
seawater?
Yeah.
That's just it. Just on and off. Is that what it is?
No,
Yeah, I
you have
see.
settings on it.
You have settings on the seawater,
So
Jeff.
they've eliminated the situation.
But you know, one of the questions
There's no,
was, and I don't know if Debbie's already done this,
Right off the bat.
but all you have to do is change your washers,
but it's
and then you will have no.
explaining the iron, and you know, for our friends in Canada, like the Canuck, she'll be able to hear those steel coins at a good tone just with the red line at the bottom. It should assign a target ID number with a red line, knowing that's a Canadian coin most of the time.
Yeah, it'll work good. Is there any different? Can you change the tones?
Can you change it?
Yes, you have control over all the tones.
And in what way do you have control?
Pardon me?
I mean, like on, right, let's just say on the Deus 2, you can go to pitch tones, Deus tones, square tones. Is there a feature on the Manticore to change the tonality of the tones for different ears?
That is a looking great idea.
So you've got Ferris tones and you have target tones that you can adjust.
Okay. And how do you adjust the tones?
Okay, give me a second.
Back of the Manticore.
Edit. So you have here your T1, you have pitch.
Pitch tone.
Okay, good.
So you have T1, T2, T3, T4. So you can adjust those back and forth.
Okay. That's good. That's very good.
And then you also have, hold on. Then you have your audio theme as well. Sorry. So that would be your threshold levels and your volume profiles and your threshold pitch. So you can change that as well. And then you have separate volume controls for your Ferris targets.
Okay, good.
So you have a lot of control over it.
And what would you say, Deb, is the depth range of the Manticore versus the Equinox?
So as always, I don't give depth out just because there's too many variables with it. I can tell you that we were getting a good portion of depth more on smaller targets with in detectable. I've not done, unfortunately, the places I've been to, thanks to the hurricane, I haven't been able to dig anything because I was in gravel fields or whatnot. So I'm hoping at the DeBerry event that I'll be able to do some depth comparisons. I did see a detectable and it was getting more depth. But
Well, good. You knew that question was coming.
To it.
You knew the question was coming.
Oh, always.
It's always going to come,
It always does.
you know. And
But you know what? As you know, it could be different. It could be one depth here and then one depth down the block.
yep, always has been that way. Always will.
Yep.
Yeah, and a different detectorist might hear it and the other guy might not.
But if you think about it, you've added 50% more power that's going through the coil. So you've got increased sensitivity. You're going to have better target separation. You're going to have more information. So it goes to lend itself that you're going to get more depth.
Right. But it doesn't automatically mean you're getting 50% more depth.
Oh no, by
People
no
are
means.
going to think that.
It's 50% more power
Yeah.
to allow all those other functions to run.
Right. And that's something, we probably have to clarify over and over and over, because when people hear 50% more power, they're going to say, oh, I can go 50% deeper,
Yeah.
And that's
That is
just
not
not
the
going to be the case. You know, because they'll have to take a backhoe with them when they go detecting.
That's right.
Okay, we got a question from Tom Becker wants to know on a tentative release date. Do you have any information on that?
So the plan is to have them out this year, before the end of the year. And that's right now, that's where we're at.
Okay. So
they're
we're
still
not
making
giving any.
adjustments. This is a prototype. So they're still making adjustments to it. So hopefully they'll be in production very shortly.
So folks, don't hold their feet to the fire. She said, you know, before the end of the year, that's a possibility. That's not a definite fact. As with anything else, they're being tested. They're going to have to make adjustments and all that kind of stuff. So cut them a little slack. It will be out shortly.
And in
Probably by the end of the year.
I would rather have it tested and running the way that they want to run it before we release it.
That's right, because you don't, you know, you release it too soon, you got nothing but problems.
Yeah.
But the goal is to have them out before the end of the year. And I know they're pushing for that.
Okay. Now on another question about the Bluetooth headphones, are they waterproof now?
They are not.
Okay.
And it will be a different headphone. I'm not sure of the operating system yet, but it has the same. If you have waterproof headphones for the Equinox, the plug is the same.
Okay.
So you'll be able to utilize those.
Now, is anything going to be interchangeable with the Equinox?
The headphones, the
Headphones.
plug portion of the headphones.
Okay.
The new headphones with this are going to be the ML, I think it's 105. So they're substantially a better headphone. It's a headphone we're including with the $6,000 gold machine.
And what about
Okay.
Same. Charging port's the same. Yeah. Charging cable's the same. And there will be no WM08.
Okay.
A little box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now for updating, is it automatically going to be ready to do with an Apple computer versus just a regular PC?
I think we have Apple now for Equinox, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
thought so.
So
Yes.
that should be
that's
no
all I
problem.
have. Yes.
Okay. Well, some of them don't, you know.
Yeah. No,
They've had problems with that.
I just want to make sure that Equinox, I thought it did. It was.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure.
I've updated mine here
Right.
in the shop on the Mac. So, well, I got some
Okay.
questions too, Jeff.
Yeah, you got some questions, and I'm going to go ahead and pop a link up in the chat for those of you that want to ask Debbie a question. Click on the link, and I'll bring you in. When I bring you on screen, that's when you can ask your question. Then I'll take you out, and she can answer your question. So I'm fixing to put the link in there.
Yeah, take them out quick, Jeff, if we get a bunch of questions, especially. All right,
Well-
so let me just run through some here. And this one we tested a little bit. Want to see how square and pull tab show up on the 2D screen? Will we be able to tell apart from gold rings? I think at this moment you can. I think they look very similar. And I think your screen right now is a little small, so it's hard to see that the difference in the two.
I know. I need to test it. To be quite honest, I need to test it more. I know at Detectable we had a watch key or something, and you could kind of see a little
Of the outline
a
of it.
little outline of it. I know you can size it, so you'll see it. But I don't want to say yes or no to that yet because I haven't tested it enough.
And
Right. So everybody needs to understand this is a prototype, and they've got the prototypes out there. Testers are testing them and giving feedback like any other detector, and they're going to make some changes possibly made to this detector. So, you know, don't get all bent out of shape and have smoke coming out of your ears because you can't get it, next week. You want it right, and it will be right when it comes out.
Now, one thing I can tell you, and Phil and I messed with it a little bit. So one of the reasons going from 0 to 99, a lot of people with Equinox wanted that middle section where lead and gold rings and brass, they kind of all fell in within a target range number. And it was a little bit more confusing as to what I want to dig and what I don't want to dig. So by going from 0 to 99, adding the increased power, that middle section where it was kind of clumped up together, that's been spread out so that there'll be more separation of different types of alloys than there was on Equinox.
Okay.
So that will also help.
All righty. Well, I got some other questions here. And the first one, I want to remind folks I do have my calendars in stock. Shameless plug there.
Yes, it is.
Do I get the first one?
Yes, you do.
Oh, there,
Well,
there
actually,
you go.
There you go.
Jocelyn,
I better by God get some.
And I'm going to send you some too, Jeff. And we'll put them on my website just for whatever the postage is to get it to you, and for other people. But if you buy something, probably in this month,
Is that a West Virginia calendar?
no, it's a Florida calendar. It has all the cool beaches on it for sure. So when you get your new Manticore detector, you'll know some pretty pictures of beaches that you want to go check out for sure.
That's right.
So anyway, back to my questions, and that relates to this question. The person's asking Jerry Talley, when are we going to see a saltwater beach video with the Manticore?
well, you had a hurricane, so that put a little damper into what I was planning on doing.
Okay,
So
awesome. And then this one is, let's see here. Oh, I'm glad I'll be able to watch the show. I guess that's just a comment. Let's see here. Just heard October 3rd that your interview on the Manticore would be Wednesday at 7 p.m. Now it's 1:30. So,
It was never Wednesday at 7 p.m.
okay. Andrew T said I was launched at the, it was launched at, it's hard reading, it's small type, at the Joe Allen Rally in UK in August. I was at Detectable in September, but didn't see it.
I was at Detectable in September, and we had 4 working units there.
So
I'm sorry you didn't get to come around to that test area.
I guess it was just a big event, and he probably just didn't see it.
Could be.
And
How many people would you say were there, Deb?
I don't know the usually Detectable is 1,500 to 1,700 people.
So there's lots of folks.
yeah, that's a big one. No, for us,
And
a
we
big one
we
is
had
a
people
few hundred
waiting
people.
in line to hold it because there were a lot of people in there.
We do have another question here real quick from Kenny Hoyt off YouTube. He wants to know if the Equinox external power pack will work with the Manticore.
Yes, it would be a power bank that will run it and trickle charge it at the same time.
Okay, so
And of
it
course,
is
you can't put it
compatible
in
with
water
that.
when you're doing that.
Okay, Minelab's coming out with that. Is that what you said?
No, just a regular power bank.
Oh, okay.
Any phone power bank
Yeah.
that you had to charge your cell phone.
Okay, because
I use a solar one.
I think
have
R&B Batteries makes one
There's
for the Equinox that clips on the bottom of it.
yeah, so that's why they leave this open, and they did on Equinox, so you could strap it back here
Oh, okay.
and then run your cord.
Yeah, I think I have them in the shop.
I use a solar one, especially if I'm in Florida or in the desert. I use it more for my cell phone than I do anything else.
Yeah, but
But just in case.
the batteries last 10 to 12 hours.
This one on this detector, because of all the functions and features you have in that 50% more power, it's 9 hours.
9 hours.
Yep.
Okay, so this battery can last up to
So 9 hours of hunting. That's a long day of hunting for sure. I know Jeff hunts 9 hours, don't you, Jeff?
Yeah, but then, I'm not well. It should have plenty of battery power for anyone, and with that extra power pack, if you're going to be out 12 or 13 hours a day, it's just like any other thing. I think the more features you run on the machine, it's going to take more power. That just goes without saying.
For sure.
So, if you want to extend your battery life, turn some of the things off, turn them down so they're not consuming battery.
Right. Turn the lights off, turn the vibration off, turn the flashlight off.
Yeah. Now this comment was, of course, we always get the depth one, difference in depth from the Equinox Manticore. I don't think you would have brought the Manticore out if it didn't go a little deeper and do some more things. So that's a given. We're not.
Well, with heightened sensitivity, it's going to go deeper.
Right.
Yes. And this person said, I believe that they showed it off last week in Oklahoma. The video was terrible quality. Hopefully you can document the machine better and ask the hard questions. We always ask hard questions.
You do.
And we have to. But to me,
Yeah, sometimes Debbie don't like us because we ask her really tough
I
questions.
like you guys. I keep coming back.
for more.
We also want to know what the lumens are on the flashlight on the detector.
That I don't know. I can find out. It's 3-stage. It's high, medium, and low.
Okay, so that there again, that goes back to your battery life. You run it on high, you're going to suck more juice.
So it's got a 3-stage light.
Flashlight. It's got a 10-stage backlight,
Fantastic.
and then it's got a separate light for your keypad.
Yeah, I thought the keypad light was
I
pretty
love it.
Awesome.
interesting.
I love it.
That's a kind of cool feature.
Yeah, because other brands, you don't have the light on those key, and if it's dark or
Right,
low light,
kind of
or if
newer.
you're visually impaired, it's hard to do it. And it sounds like my friend Pastor Rick is just calling me on the phone, and he's on his way to see the Manticore.
Yeah, if you're in the neighborhood, come down and
Yeah,
see
come
it
down.
now.
That's what I did.
Yes, like
I heard
Florida
I'm
here.
I heard I'm here.
And he's also a member of the Suncoast Research and Recovery.
Yeah, I was
Club.
telling her I was at the Fort DeSoto demonstration when they came with the Vanquish.
Yes, absolutely.
And we've got hats and gloves and
Oh yeah,
all
you get
different prizes you
to,
can
you
win.
get to pick a duck. We moved inside because it's cooler in here. There's no
Yeah.
duck. But no, I'll stand outside and eat.
It's a beautiful day out here, though.
So, folks out there, I put a link in the chat. If you want to come on and ask Debbie a question, you click the link, you come on screen. You can ask her the question. Then I'll exit you and she can answer the question so everybody can hear it. So if you want to ask a question, let's do it that way. It's kind of make it interactive. That way she can see who's asking the question.
Before they get somebody up with a question, can I ask a question that everybody's getting on everybody's mind?
Yes.
What have we done to improve the water situation, the water intrusion from the Equinox? I think that's pretty much the only
I'll let Debbie
question
answer that.
people had. Yes.
So this is rated at IP68, good
Okay.
to 15 feet, where Equinox was 10 feet.
Correct. Well, the question I ask is, and this is my personal experience, I own 2 Equinoxes, a 600 and 800. I've had 2 control pods get wet on the 800 and 1 on the 600. So I think people just want, I guess, like, to
And
know
I
that there's been
understand- I
improvements done on
understand.
this one.
There have been, it's a much more robust control panel.
Okay.
If you compare them side by side. But, and this is not to diminish that there was leakage problems with some Equinox, but overall for the amount that
You made?
we made and sold, it was less than 0.01%.
Okay, and that's what I heard.
Yes.
Now, have you, and I have to ask this just because for my
Yep.
viewers, have you ever released sales numbers on the Equinox?
No. We have never looked.
Let's ask the
Yeah, I
question.
figured that because I looked all over the internet and I couldn't
Yeah.
find it.
I can tell you this, and this is my own personal opinion. I think Equinox changed the industry.
Oh, I,
Changed the whole. It came out at a time when we needed something different, and
Absolutely.
something stepped up, and
and the machine was
really
priced at
changed.
such a good price that
it was
everybody,
right where it should be.
um,
and
but I would be safe to say in the hundreds of thousands.
I can't.
Okay, all right, she's not gonna.
Okay, if we got questions there,
I don't want to
Throw it out
question.
there.
if there are questions there, have them asked so the people viewing can hear the question and hear the answer, please.
And it slides down for portability for carrying.
Yep.
Look at that, guys. She's got it on the counter for the live stream people, but look at that, guys. Great for traveling on an airplane, guys, or for your detector bag. And I understand you've made the,
It's all carbon fiber.
okay, so that makes it lighter, and I understand it's just a teeny bit lighter than the Nox.
2.9 pounds
Okay.
with the 11-inch well.
I'm gonna shut off here for a second, guys. I have a question I asked off screen. So basically, you've just taken the entire business away from Detect Ed for having to order.
We're on live stream here.
So,
No, you know what? This is a step up model from
It
the
is.
Equinox.
It is.
So it's,
So you did a little
you're getting
better.
the carbon fiber shaft. You're
Yeah.
getting, they made, the improvements and added the different things on.
Oh, I know. There's
So-
this is improved. Now,
Yep.
this was a question too of people. Is this? See, I see that's more flexible like this.
Much more
is.
pliable.
Oh, that is awesome.
And then it's, instead of a 3-stage adjustment, you can adjust it.
All right, guys. Another improvement they made is this is a softer plastic or rubber. So is this. So there'll be less and then it's got a cam lock on this guy, so that's adjustable to many different heights. That is awesome. So multiple areas, guys. They've made improvements and upgraded. That's impressive. And there is the screen.
Okay, someone wants to, they want to see what a pull tab looks like on the 2D screen.
It just looks like the
It's
ring.
a little bit more. No, it's a little bit more oblong. But
Well,
we'll
yeah, a
try.
little square.
We don't have it with a tail on it.
Yeah, I don't have the beaver
Let
tail.
me go see if I got one.
And bring in a rusty bottle cap if you got
All
it.
right. Oh, I found plenty of them. What would it be?
Can you see? You want me to do that?
You got a little bit more oblong shape. But you can see it's coming up 29.30. And then gold ring is 26. So that has been separated. So that middle section now is going to give you more information on what it is. If you can see here where this is, it's grayed here. Maybe if I shut that off, you can see where this is grayed here. If that's where a pull tab is showing, I can increase that
Okay.
to knock out that pull tab.
Okay. Sounds good. We got a question. Somebody coming on to ask you a question, Deb. Okay, Kenny, you are on.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I've seen a couple videos and then a website that discussed iron having negative VDIs, negative 99 to 0. And I saw another video where apparently you can use that somehow to notch certain iron signals and open them up. So if you have like an iron coin, it comes in a good signal. Can you explain more about that?
So this does not have a negative. It's 0 to 99. There is no negative numbers.
Dankowski says it's absolutely negative. And I know on the FE and the F2 on that video, on the F2, I think the top line, a guy somehow went into that section and then what he called opening up, where he was able to, it's like it's split off into different sections. And he took one section where this iron coin was coming in and removed the red so that it came through with a good tone instead of an iron tone.
Right, which you can do on any of them in the discrimination pattern.
No, I'm not talking about discriminating out, but actually bringing it in. So an iron coin, instead of sounding like iron, now sounds like a silver coin or whatever.
And Phil's wearing a rusty bottle cap from
So that's in my
Coil
discrimination mode.
Beach.
So Phil is, I don't mean to cut you off. I've got to look at that because I've got to check that out. I don't know the answer to that, but I will find out and then I will let Phil or Jeff know.
Okay.
And I want
Thanks,
to,
Kenny.
I was,
Appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's that bottle cap. You know the
So that's a bottle cap and it's coming down.
Equinox that's the toughest thing on that.
It is because it sounds almost like a nickel.
Yes.
Except the nickel will stay solid at 13. The bottle cap will bounce around more.
Yep, I'm down in the and I'm getting the line. So I'm getting
The
22 down in the right
Back end
hand
of
with the
the
line.
That's all I could find.
And this is just the back end of a beaver tail. This is the tail. So I don't know if we get any kind of,
It's right here, so I can just bump that up and take it out.
yeah, if you wanted to, but I would never do that on the beach.
So, Deb,
12, 13.
Yes.
can you change the tones? Like, go into pitch so people can hear what we're talking about?
Yeah, there's pitch. Gotta go up or something, don't you?
There we go. Wait a minute. All right, you'll have to excuse me because I have not played with this. Pitch. T3 start. Right, that's
Pitch is like-
T1 end. So T1 start. T1 start. Okay, here we go. T1 start. You can hear the difference. It's going up. Okay, go ahead now.
Pitch
That's
tone
all right.
is like that, like your gold prospecting, the
Yeah.
zippy tone.
Right, but that was T1. So it's similar to Equinox. I just have to get the. So T1 start, which is going to be 0 because it's the first one. So I can change the pitch. You can hear the pitch changing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Okay.
for a specific
It's
segment?
T1, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have a T1 start and end, and then I can do my T2 start and end,
Okay. So
all the way to T4.
it's
So,
like your tone breaks.
correct.
Okay, so basically what that is like a tone break. It's not changing the tones. It's going to be the good old Minelab tones. It's not going to be like a Deus where you can go into pitch mode where it sounds like a pulse machine.
Yeah, like it's real zippy. You know, like a gold program.
Gold. Oh, you never know. Hold on. I think you can do that.
That's just changing your Minelab tones.
Right. It's giving the tonal quality. It's kind of like a graphic equalizer type thing.
Yeah, but there is. Hold on. I just got to find it here. Give me 1 second. So that's normal. That's for my threshold. Enhanced. Hear the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Enhanced mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear the difference.
Normal mode. You have enhanced, and then you have the continuous.
There you go. That's
There you
what we
go.
were looking for.
That's what we mean. Yeah. That's more like the pitch tone. Yep.
Yeah, that's.
And again, I apologize. I'm still learning it.
Okay, well, we got another question. Yansen 99. There's a link up in the chat. Click on the link. And we'll bring you in, and you can ask your question. It's better if you ask it. So if I need to put another link up, I will. But
All righty. Well, it looks, Jeff, it looks like we're done questioned out on this end. Had you any other questions for you?
well, we're going to see. There's a couple questions out there. See if they want to come on, and
Okay.
we'll give them a minute.
But otherwise, I'll just tell folks that I do have a pre-order list. I'm really not taking money because, like Deb said, she'll have them probably end of the year.
This year.
Yeah, this year. So
I'm
if somebody
feeling more and more
somebody
comfortable
wants
saying
to,
that, so.
yeah, if somebody wants to butt in the front of the line of my list that I have, they could go on my website and buy it. But I'd really rather they didn't do that, but they could, because the first person,
You know what that does? The pre-orders is, get on a list, fine, but don't send money, because all that does is cause hard feelings. You get
Yeah.
ticked off because it's not here when you want it.
yes,
It's best to get on the list, and trust me, as soon as Phil gets them, and he'll have a big order coming in, this first order, he will contact you to get you your Manticore. So if you want one, which I think you probably do, or you should, then get on the list.
yes.
And
So
see
we
if
can-
you guys will get 'em
We
out.
will keep you updated.
Yes, and the folks can, if they just want to email me rather than call me, they can do that. And they can email me at FLPHIL, so that's like Florida Phil, at me.com, at me.com. That's an easy email address. They can do that, and I'll put them on the list. And when we get them in, we can call them and get them out. And also, like I just was saying earlier, I do have my calendars in, so any orders going out of here, probably the next 3 months, I think I have probably 1,500 calendars out there on the deck.
You're going to get 1,500 orders the rest of the week, dude.
Yeah. I hope so, Jeff. I hope. But they'll get a free calendar with everything we ship out, especially every Minelab product.
There you go.
Yes.
That's right.
Have that.
So, any last questions out there? Let's get them asked.
Yeah, because we're fixing to close off because I think I got some more people coming in, and we're fixing.
And so both of you guys know, as soon as I have the final specs, I will come back on and go through it, and I'll be able to answer more questions, and I will have had some time to actually use it in the field.
Awesome.
Okay, well, as soon as you have the
And to
specs,
cause issues.
Robert Ridgway wants to know the screensavers be coming out.
Not that I know of as of right now.
Okay, we've got one more question here. Let's get this guy up.
Okay.
Okay,
Hello
Jensen.
together. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. My question is, can you tell us about searching in the multi-IQ Plus in the different modes, how the kilohertz change from maybe high conductor to low conductor, for example, or fast program?
So we won't, just like with the Equinox, we don't give out the what frequencies are being run in multi-IQ.
Special
Plus.
sauce. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They don't give away the special sauce for some.
All right.
No special sauce.
That's right. But you'll want one, Jensen.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Where are you calling us from,
Thanks for
Yancy?
stopping in.
Where is he?
He sounded like he was from another country, Jeff.
I think he's from Sweden or someplace like
Can't
that.
get there.
No, but it's nice knowing where they're calling from.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Well, Jeff, I think we're about to wrap it up.
yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. I am very, very pleased to see the improvements that have been made. It looks to me like it's a very, very beefed up detector.
Yes,
It's
it
going
is.
to take the abuse, and I'm kind of excited.
I am too. It's
So,
my first thoughts is it's a really nice unit. I love the compactability of it. I think that is just fantastic. I like the shaft. I like the redesign of the coil ears. I like the arm cuff. So yeah, I think it's going to be a hit.
yeah, I think so. So, what we said, folks, is as soon as Debbie gets the final specs where she can speak directly what the final is going to be, she'll get up with me and we'll do a special show, or I'll do some shifting around and we'll get her on the show. So you'll have the absolute latest information, and possibly, when it'll be released. As soon as we can get it to you, you can just take that to the bank, because we here at Treasure Talk, we want to bring you the information that helps you make the wisest decision on spending your detecting dollar with Myers metal detectors.
For sure.
So that's what we want. That's what we strive to do. And Debbie was nice enough to make a trip to come into the shop today and spend some time. And, we asked her some tough questions. And of course, but she knew we were going to ask her tough questions, because that's just the kind of guys we are, and hopefully you got some of the answers that you wanted, and we're going to keep you updated and everything on what to expect with the Minelab Manticore. It sounds to me like it is indeed a beast. So we're going to keep you updated. Deb, thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.
And giving us all the good information. Guru, get ready to get orders, dude. Send me some calendars.
I'm ready. I got my list going, and I like that bottle cap.
Yeah, you can tell that's.
You can tell the bottle cap.
Yeah,
So
right.
Equinox users, especially new users, will have an easier time with the bottle cap with this detector. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for jumping on the live stream, and we'll see you next Monday night. And Jeff, I'll see you probably on the show Thursday night.
Yep, I'll be doing my thing.
All righty.
All right, see you.
Bye, everybody.
Sign
Bye,
us
then.
off. I will see you, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
That was awesome.
Okay, folks, there you have it. That's our latest information from Minelab. And you heard it right from the Minelab's mouth. As release date, they're going to try. And let's emphasize that, try to have it out by the end of the year. There's no guarantees, just like with any of the other detectors that were launched. There's no guarantees as to what date. We've been through that before. If you're interested in one, which to me, I'm fairly satisfied that it's going to be a top quality detector. They've addressed a lot of the problems that they had. I'll make my final decision when I can get one in my hand, but I tend to take what Phil says to heart. He knows detectors. His first impressions were very positive. So hopefully, very soon we'll have a release date. But if you're interested, get up with Phil, get on the list. You don't want to take any money, just get on the list. You'll be the first ones to get it. As soon as we get some more updated specs, and just like Debbie said, they're still in the hands of the testers, making tweaks and improvements, which is what we'd want them to do, to have everything, all their ducks in a row before they release it. So when you get a detector that you're going to spend $1,600 for, that you're not unhappy with, oh, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. You're going to know what the detector will and will not do, and the build quality and everything. So everybody's happy, and you can go out and find a lot more targets. Sounds to me like they've addressed a lot of the issues that happened with the Equinox, and I think they got a beast on their hands, and it's going to be a really great machine. So that being said, I'm out of here. And if you got any more questions, send us an email, treasuretalkshow@gmail.com, and we'll see if we can't get them answered, and we will talk to you later. So happy hunting and dig deeper.